I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsor, RX Smart Gear. Dave and his team have developed the perfect jump rope to counter common performance miscues, which in turn enhance the learning experience. They have an ergonomic grip and a swivel connection for better accuracy, and the resistance levels have helped with better timing. And the custom sizes promote proper form and technique. It's built durable to stand up to the rigors of intense workouts, and it was in fact prescribed to help you get better. That's how the RX Smart Gear jump rope was born. Dave Newman and his team have been a great partner for us in the podcast, and we appreciate him so much for all of his support. So don't forget to use the Clydesdale15 discount code at checkout and get 15% off your order at rxsmartgear.com. And don't forget that that excludes new releases and special editions.
We are so excited to now have Mobility Movement as a partner. Their holistic approach to recovery is second to none. This is not just a program that helps with your flexibility and mobility, it also assists with stress release and sleep, two key factors in overall recovery. The website gives you a plan for each week, saves your favorites, gives you sleep protocols. The extensive library available to you is both vast and diverse.
And we have a new offer with our friends at Mobility Movement that will give you a free month after your 7-day trial. All you need to do is use the discount code Clydesdale free month, all caps, at checkout at mobilitymovement.com. That's mobilitymvmnt.com.
I've been using this since the first of the year, and I am sleeping better than I have in so many years. And with all the back issues I've had over the last 5 years, this has given me so much relief, and I'm able to work out 4 to 5 times a week without any pain at all. So go to mobilitymovement.com. That's mobilitymvmnt.com and use Clyde. So we are here with Justin Cotler, super friend of the show. I think this is your fourth visit? Third, fourth? Fourth.
Fourth
visit.
Yep.
Yeah, you tie O'Keefe for the most visits on the show.
I'm in good company. There we go. That's awesome.
So last time we talked to you was right after the games. It was right when Carrie and Bethany got pulled. It wasn't the highlight of your year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I want to catch up because a lot's happened in the last 9 months or so, and we got a new season, fresh start.
Yeah.
So first of all, I got to ask you about one of your athletes. Ivy Cotler.
She might be the best athlete in the gym.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's possible. Dude, I don't know, man. It's like, I feel like I look at my wife every day and we're like, we created a super baby. I don't know what happened here with this one. No, man, she's amazing. She's 5 now. And it's wild because, she's just got, how like usually like athleticism, like you'll get like, it's good hand-eye coordination, or maybe you get like speed, or maybe you get like explosiveness, or maybe you get, she just seems to have it all. And she picks up things unbelievably quickly. And the coolest thing to me is just that she loves it. She loves being active. I think her growing up in the gym, right? Growing up at Dynamics, and being around people who train all the time, she just thinks it's normal. And then obviously seeing, Carrie and Bethany and Danielle and, the Kyra and all, the other girls, Allie, et cetera. And her mom, obviously. But she just thinks that's what kids do, and that's what little girls do, and it's exciting. It's just fun. I have so much fun watching her. I'm like her biggest fan, and I try. I've been forbidden by by Ash to coach her, which is fine. They're just fine. So I just watch, and we had a really great meeting with the head of her gymnastics school recently. And they were pretty cool because they were like, hey, we wanted to sit you guys down. We don't do this normally. Last time we had one of these meetings with parents was about 5 or 6 years ago. And that's kind of, I guess, like how often, they see someone with this potential, but they were like, we recognize how special she is. and we just wanted to sit you down and make sure that you knew that we knew. So it was cool, man. And I feel like, they're really excited to take her on and kind of, they're putting together a path where they're like, listen, she's so young. We don't want her to get a burnout. We don't want her to get injured, make sure she's doing all her other things. Cause we go rock climbing a ton. She's also, what's really cool is the new gym that we're training at is connected to a ninja gym. So she's doing all Ninja Warrior stuff when she comes there. So she's doing literally right now, it's like gymnastics 4 days a week, Ninja Warrior 2-3 days a week, and rock climbing 2-3 days a week. Like she's just, so it's
and
cool.
Throwing in that little bit of CrossFit, start doing pistols, like nothing.
Like it's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then doing the handstands up the ramp.
Yeah, handstands up the ramp, and then I took a video the other day. I think I posted it. I don't know, but so she has a little bar outside that she works on, and she actually kicked up into the bar and was just doing handstands with her feet like straddled around the bar, just doing strict handstand. So it's just like Ivy doing Ivy things, But it's cool, man. She's awesome, and it looks like Jackson is showing a lot of the same traits like when she was his age. He just turned 2. He just about did a strict pull up the other day. He's doing his strict toes to bar, and he just follows her. He just sees what she's doing in the back and he does it. So it's cool, man. It's fun. They're amazing, and Ash is Superwoman around here, because I've got the kids, but then I've got my, however many other kids, right? My athletes. So Ash is, we wouldn't function around here if she wasn't on top of things. So.
Yeah. And Jax is the endless energy kid.
Oh man. Honestly, I don't remember Ivy being as much as a terror as Jax. Jax is just he's at that age now where like you turn your back for 1 second and he puts himself in a life-threatening situation. You've got to be aware of where he is at all times. Like it never stops. But it's fun, man, and I'm excited. We're going away for our first family vacation in a very long time. This upcoming weekend. Just Ash and I and the kids. We're gonna go to San Diego for the weekend and go to San Diego Zoo, and it's Easter weekend, so just go and relax a little bit before all the craziness of semifinals starts. So it'll be nice. Yeah.
So to finish up, or to move on to that kind of thought process, where are you guys at right now? Like you've done the Open, and I know a lot of camps just trained right through the Open. Mm-hmm. You have quarters. I'm assuming people like Danielle don't need to deload for quarters.
No, I think 2 days prior, Danielle and Matt both, they just did like just a mini taper like right before. So literally it was like Monday, Tuesday, we just deloaded percentages a little bit in volume. And then Wednesday they did some monostructural work and then right into quarters. So no, some athletes like to though, it just depended on who you were. Ricky kind of did the same thing that Matt and Danielle did. It was just a couple days. Where we took a deload was after, because no matter how, listen, I mean, quarters for them is, no, I'm not going to say easy, but quarters for them is fine, and the workouts are not too bad, but it's how hard you're going. You're just pushing hard. And I think it's just nice to kind of have a little bit of a reset afterwards. So I gave them, 4 days after. I was just like, you're off program, go do what you want. Danielle went to California. She had some sponsorship stuff she had to do. And then I put them back on program on Friday, but it was essentially like, get in, move around. I put some EMOMs and some easy, well, not easy, but some EMOMs and AMRAPs, that were moderate intensity and moderate difficulty. And then they kind of came back hard the next week. And we alter the schedule a little bit after quarters going into semis. We change the days so that we can get prepared for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. So we just shifted their off days a little bit. So now they where Sunday used to be an off day, now it's Monday, and now they're training Friday, Saturday, Sunday to replicate the weekend that they'll see, at semifinals. So, we've got 6 in-house that are going to semis. Then and then I personally coach Christine Best, who's in New York. She's coming out next week to train with the crew. And then I have 2 that are in Torreon. I have Ricky, and then a woman named Rachel Falmina, who's it's her first time. It's really cool. It's her first time making semifinals. This year she came, I think, in 11th in Oceania. So that'll be cool. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, and we had one of your coaches on who made semis, and she's a masters athlete.
She's unbelievable.
Colette Casey.
She's incredible. She actually told me today she's going to be doing semis. She decided she wants to do semis. She doesn't want to go to masters this year. She wants to test herself against the best in the world, she said. I was like, cool. If that's what your gut is telling you and that's what you want to do, by all means, do it. And she's a competitor. She's just a born competitor. I mean, she was a beast in college, women's soccer at FSU. I believe she was team captain. And she just has that thing. You know what I mean? She's got that vibe.
3 Final Fours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
the
impressive.
Funny thing is I lived in Tallahassee.
Did you?
So we actually connected because we'd been to the same bars. We'd been to the same.
Oh, that's awesome.
Restaurants and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. And
That's
it's better than Miami, so.
Hey,
Had to
I was
get
about to call it Trailer Hassy. I was kidding. Us Canes fans, we got to make fun of Tallahassee. I can't not make fun of Tallahassee. But
Not
yeah,
like
she's
either one
incredible.
can brag right now.
No, that's definitely true. But yeah, Colette's amazing. Yeah, I'm stoked to see her. She'll actually be at Syndicate, so I'll see her the first week, and Christine and her the first week. So I'm gonna be at all of them. So I'll see everybody.
Well, I will be at the first 3.
Okay.
So I'll see you there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll share an adult beverage, I hope.
There, yeah. The fun thing is, it's actually my 25th wedding anniversary in between Syndicate and Mac. So my wife and I got an Airbnb up in the mountains. So we're just going to scoot up to the mountains for the week and come back down for the next weekend.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I was mapping out my plans this past couple of days, and I'm in Knoxville from the 19th until the 30th, and then I'm going to sneak home for a couple of days because I can't go a month without seeing my family. So I'm going to sneak home and see the kids in Ash for a couple of days, and then I'll shoot back up to Minneapolis, and then I'm going to go straight from Minneapolis out to Montreal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be I'm going to rack up some frequent flyer miles, that's for sure.
Yeah, you weren't lucky enough this year to have one in the hometown.
Oh my gosh. No. I don't know. I think maybe I've talked too much shit about the judging screw up, and they just were like, screw that. We're putting all the underdogs, the different ones. He's going to have to travel everywhere. Yeah. So no, I'm going, you know what? I'm stoked. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool. Other than, obviously it's just hard on the family. My wife's mom is amazing. So my mother-in-law is going to come for an extended period of time and help out with the kids. And my wife is a rock star, obviously. But yeah, it'll be good.
I see you racking up those coins with Ash the whole time there. Because you got to butter it up, start the butter now, because that's a long haul.
It's a long one. That's a long one. That's one of those where I get back and it's kind of like, she's like, honey, I'm going to the spa. Okay. Yeah. Honey, I'm going to go do, I'm going to go out to dinner with the girls. Okay. I'm going here. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that coming
Yep.
once you get win. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that where I'm just like,
I did mention I'm close to 25 years on my anniversary.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that all too well.
Oh, I know you do. Yeah, so it's good.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about some impressions from the off season and some of your athletes. First, the thing that excited me the most this off season was Wadapalooza and my boy Matty DeLugos.
Yeah.
We just talked to James Newberry on Sunday.
Well, that's great.
And
James is
that
great.
guy cannot say enough good things about Matt DeLugos.
Oh, good. That's
And
good to hear.
what he did at Wadapalooza, man, I had goosebumps the whole weekend.
Yeah, it was really a coming out party for him, wasn't it? You know, I mean, he got thrust in a tough situation in the sense that, like, you know, Jay couldn't make it. Jay Crouch couldn't make it. And Khan texted me and was like, "Hey, do you have a third guy?" And at first he was like, you know, "Can Tola do it?" I was like, Tola's traveling, and you know he's going to go to Boston. I don't think his head's in it. And I was like, "What about Matty?" And you know, Khan knows Matt obviously very well, but Khan was like, "Okay." He's like, "Do you think you know he'll be able to hang?" And I was like, I think so. I was like, Matty is pretty fit right now. And boy, oh boy, I think both James and Colin halfway through the weekend looked at me and they're like, oh my gosh, like this dude, you know? I mean, he fit in beautifully. The three of them got along amazingly, and it was a hell of a team. And they really pushed you know, Noah Chandler and Travis. I mean, they really pushed them. There were some phenomenal races there. And it was really fun to watch, and he had a blast. And I think it was great for him mentally to be in the company of, you know, games veterans and really be able to hold his own. And I think a lot of those guys really respect him and you know, they took notice. And, you know, it's been really cool to see the way people have responded to him since then, especially like at that level. You know, guys like that, guys like James and Noah and, you know, that crew that just constantly have really nice things to say about him. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see him at Granite Games. We're working hard. We're trying to attack, you know, weaknesses. He's really tall. So, you know, he's got those, you know, inherent things that we need to work on that are challenging, but it'll be fun. I think, you'll have the two tallest guys in CrossFit at the same event, right now, because Brent and Matt are both at Granite. Yeah, so they'll have to have their own special lanes.
What they need to do is in the lane in between the two, put Colton Mertens.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, it'll be fun, man. Matty's good. He's working hard, and I'm excited to watch him.
Yeah, the best part was James was saying in the lifting event where it kept going up in weight. Mm-hmm. James was like, I had only lifted a couple times before that, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to hit that last bar. And Matty hit that bar, and I was like, guess I'm not going to have to.
It was funny because like there were a couple spots during the weekend where like James and Con, you saw them, they were like contemplating what they were going to do next, and Matt just was like, I got it. You know, he just like kind of pushed him back and went and took care of it. And they were so happy. You know, there is such a great video of after Matt hits that and hits that last jerk, and the Con just jumps in his arms, and you know, it's just really cool. It was great to see. Yeah.
And the last thing James said was, because he did a shoey on American soil, he is an honorary Australian. They just need to get him there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you know, Matt came back and he was like, I might be moving to Australia after that weekend. So no, it was great. Yeah, he had a great time, and it's amazing to see what James is doing. Oh my gosh, that guy's amazing. You know, just all the physical feats, you know, that he does, and it's nice to see Con and the team doing well in Iceland, and you know. So it's good. It's good to see everybody doing well.
It's going to be interesting because James told us he's now dialed in back on CrossFit.
Okay.
For Torian.
Yeah.
He's going to try to make his shot for the games.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. But he learned that like taking it too seriously wasn't working anyway.
Cool.
So
I mean, listen, and that guy doesn't have anything to prove anymore. I mean, he's had an unbelievable career, and he's obviously, I mean, he made top 10 in the games. It's pretty awesome.
yeah.
And I also think it's cool for him is he's not going in with much pressure. There, like he's not one of the favorites now to make it. So it's a scenario where he can just go in and have fun and hang loose and because everybody's kind of talking about Ricky and Baden and Jay and Royce as like the top four, that there are only going to be 3 out of those 4 that make it. And then James is, don't forget about James. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just missed last year. Bad. I think he made the last chance. So
yeah. He said, if I don't make it, I'll be the first to put my hand up to go demo team again.
There you go. That's right. I mean, shit. He's that's just a guy you kind of like having around. We've invited him out to Vegas. I mean, we were like, hey, anytime you have an open invitation, he said, I got to spend a little time with him down in Waterpalooza. It was like really the first time we vibed really well. And we both, just had really kind of nice things to say to each other afterwards. I was just very impressed with him and his demeanor and the way he carries himself. And he had some nice things to say about me. And it was, so it was kind of like, hey dude, whenever you come to the States, man, just, you got a place to stay, just come and hang. So it was cool.
Well, the next athlete I want to talk about is someone special to you, and that is Carrie Pierce. She did her last competition at Rogue, and you got to be there. And the crowd was so awesome to her in that moment. Just a quick little story about how that weekend went. Did it close the book satisfactorily for her?
I think so. I really think that if not for Bethany and Danielle, that Carrie might have retired right after Atlanta, honestly. Because I think that was kind of the pinnacle, and it was such a cool way for her to put that kind of stamp on her career. But I think when Bethany and Danielle came, here and they were all training together, she was just having so much fun that for her it was like, I'll do another year. But then I think, when COVID happened and it was really, such a letdown, and then she just never had that climax to the season. So I think Rogue was a beautiful way to go out. She got to, she won her event, which was awesome, and finished top 10 again, which she always does, and she's just such a cool person in general to have around. I think that's what we miss the most. She's just not in the gym very much, she's got her home gym, and so she's there most weeks, and we see her maybe once or twice a week. Hopefully, I get my fingers crossed. We might see her next year doing something, maybe she'll come do some team or but it's hard to say. I mean, she's so successful, Power Apps is a monster, and she's doing so well, and so but selfishly I'd like to have her back because it's just different. When she's in the gym, it's just different, the vibe is different, and she's just so great, and she's such a phenomenal mentor for everyone. So I would love to have her back in the gym more often, and she's been super cool. She's helped out with some stuff with Underdogs, and done some done a couple of talks with the crew and about mindset and things like that. And there are a few of them that she's mentoring, every now and then. But yeah, it's so different, than it has been the last few years, because it was, it's just like she and I every day, so I definitely miss her.
Well, the next person I want to talk about is DB. So I know I'm an outsider looking in, but this off season, I actually got a chance to talk to her. We did a quick little interview because she joined up with Rad, and we talked for a little bit afterwards. She had a different demeanor to me than I had seen in the past. Seems much more focused, and athletically, it looks like it's gone up a notch.
So it's the transformation that I've been talking about for the last couple of years. And it's not fully there yet, but man, she's different. And I tell her that all the time. We talk about it just about every day. She's different. She's just different. You know, she thinks differently. She attacks workouts differently. Her mannerisms are different. Her tolerance is different. Her patience is different. Now, listen, she's always going to be volatile and she's always going to be emotional and she's going to have her DB meltdown sometimes. But where it used to take 2 or 3 days to talk her off a ledge, now it's 10 minutes, you know, and and then we learn from it. And she is getting to that point now where, you know, in the past, there were workouts that I knew would be a struggle for her and that I knew would be a challenge mentally for her to just be able to go to that place where things were really hard and embrace it. You know, last year during semis, there were a couple of those, like the ruck run and that chipper, you know, where there was some adversity and she didn't handle it well. And then at the games, there were a couple, you know, and DB has always been like a classic front runner. Like if she gets ahead and she's just one of those athletes that's not going to let our foot off the gas. But what I've seen this year is that no matter where she is in the workout, if she's ahead, if she's behind, whatever it is, that she's just able to go to a different place that she didn't have before. And I'm just incredibly proud of her for putting in the work and then for putting in all the work outside the gym. She's much better about her nutrition. She's finally got like a stable living situation. You know, she's taking care of her body. She's doing the things that are necessary to compete and perform at a championship level. And the way that she and I interact now, it's less about me just trying to make sure that there's no breakdowns. And now it's more about like everything has intention, every workout. How are we looking at this workout? How are we attacking this workout? Did this go well? Did that go well? How do we get better? You know, she had only one, you know, and I look at the workouts in quarterfinals, there was one workout that, you know, where she had one slight mistake. That's it. And, you know, in the past, you know, there would have been multiple mistakes or she would have done things, you know, and it wasn't a mistake that I was upset about. It was a mistake where she was trying to be aggressive but she let somebody else's score affect her and get her off her game. So it was a great learning experience to be like, hey, if you would have stuck to your game plan and not tried to, you know, and not kind of get taken out of your game plan because you were worried about what somebody else got, you would have gone 30 seconds faster. You know what I mean? And probably would have won quarters, you know, in North America because she came in, you know, third. But yeah, man, she's getting to that level that that when I first laid eyes on her, I just said to myself, you know, this is a different type of athlete. You know, she's a freakish talent, and we're starting to get there in all of her aspects, which is a scary proposition for others. I can promise you that. You know, I think she needs to do it on a big stage. You know, with some other, you know, big competition, obviously. But you know, I have a feeling, and I feel very confident that she's going to have a hell of a year. She's setting herself up for it. And if we just keep going down the path we're going, I think she's going to have a really big breakout year. And her performance on the competition floor will match her CrossFit celebrity. You know,
well,
so it'll be cool.
Some people may forget, she is a top 10 games athlete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it didn't show because someone cheated ahead of her and she didn't get
Yeah.
the opportunity to show it. But before she even got with you and before she got some of this stuff corrected, she was a top 10 games athlete.
She was a top 10 games athlete, but she didn't act like a top 10 games athlete. Like she didn't act like one in the sense of, um, you know, of doing all the things that you need to do to be a perennial top 10 games athlete. And now she is, it's a whole different animal now. I just, she's, she, I, seeing her on a day-to-day basis, the difference between like where she is right now and where she was a year ago it's night and day, and she knows it. I mean, she feels it, um, she just the numbers she's putting up in practice on a daily basis on metcons and things. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy, and it's exciting, man. I can't wait. Like, I'm super stoked to kind of unleash her at Mac. I think she's gonna put on a show. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
I can't wait because what I was trying to point out is with raw natural talent, she was top 10. Now that
I
she's
think
getting
top
stuff,
three natural talent. I mean, I don't know who's more talented. You Tia, but other than Tia, as far as athletic ability, like pure athleticism,
yeah, I was saying 2019, she got top
yeah,
10
yeah,
only on raw talent.
100%.
And
Yep.
then now she's got it refined a little bit more. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And you can see it in her
It's fun.
posture.
Mhm. Yeah, it's the way she carries herself now. I gave them a really hard workout yesterday. It was like when I wrote the workout, and I said to myself when I was writing it, like, this is one of those workouts. It's gonna test everybody physically, mentally. It's one of those where like you could conceivably just have a breakdown in the middle of the workout where you're just like, fuck this. This is hard. I don't want to do this. Um, and to watch her battle, and just smoke it and just smoke everybody on a workout that last year, she would have looked at me in the middle of the workout and been like, why are we doing this? This sucks. Like, you know what I mean? This is, why you're trying to kill us, like that type of thing, and now it's just, okay, what's the workout? How am I going to attack it? And then I'm going to that dark place. I'm embracing it. Yeah, she's just there. It's awesome. It's really, really exciting. She's good. She's really good.
So I'm going to skip over Ricky because you and I are going to talk to him in just a little bit, and that'll be
Yeah.
its own episode. But you also have some young talent too. You have Alex, you have Kyra.
hmm
How are they coming along?
I think they're coming along well. I think I'll take each one individually. I think the thing about Alex is that Alex just doesn't realize how good she is. And that's, I think sometimes it takes time to believe that you belong, right? Like, you might have it, like, talent wise. But in your brain, if you're like, I'm not quite at that point yet. Like, right. Like, she's 20 years old. So I think she's probably in her mind said to herself, like, okay, last year I went to West Coast Classic, I finished top 20, right? Like, this year my goal is to finish, top 10 at a semifinals. Like, that was her goal when we put out the goals at the beginning of the year, right? Well, she just finished 12th in quarters in North America, Alex. And what I see an athlete who is good enough right now today to make the CrossFit Games. I see it every day in practice. She's that good. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't know yet that she believes it. So, my job over the next several weeks is to try to keep reinforcing that, so that, like, the expectations for her or the goals when she gets to semis are like, I got nothing to lose here. I got a real chance to make this, and I really, she is first of all, she's incredibly strong, like just brute strength. I don't know if you saw, she had a 248-pound bench press during quarterfinals.
Wow.
248, which was by far the most in North America. She strict presses, her strict press one rep max is 170 pounds. So she's just got brute strength, like it's, kind of genetically just strong, country strong, right? And then we're refining her technique on a lot of things, but I mean, she cleaned 253, and that was easy. Like, I watched it and she was like, should I go up? I'm like, it's fine. 253 is fine for quarterfinals. Don't worry about it. So, but and her skills, the things that it takes, especially on the women's side, that it generally takes years, like strict deficit handstand push-ups, legless rope climbs, right? Ring muscle ups, like all these things that generally, like, those are the things that kind of lag behind. She might be the best in the gym at all three. She just hit an unbroken set of 20 ring muscle ups. Her legless rope climbs are ridiculous. She's phenomenal at deficit handstand push-ups. Like, all those things that when you start getting to a semifinal and a games level where everything gets hard, everything gets heavy, everything gets more skilled, like, that's her bag. The harder, the heavier, it's good for her. So that's why I keep saying to her, like, I don't want you to sell yourself low. Like, you don't have pressure on. I don't want her to put pressure on herself, but I also want her to believe, like, we're not going to Granite Games for her to finish 10th, like, we're going there for you to finish in the top 5. Like, there's no doubt in my mind you can do it. But if the athlete doesn't believe it, then, then generally I find it, most of the time it doesn't happen if they don't at least believe that they can. So that's the biggest thing we're working on with Alex. And, she's pretty amazing to think she's only still 20, it's awesome. It's great. And Kyra, listen, I love Kyra. And I think it's been a pretty big, like, wake up call for Kyra this year, like coming here and training with all these incredible athletes. And, Kyra has home runs, like her strength, her clean, she's very explosive. She's an ex-basketball player. She's got a lot of fast twitch. I think Kyra would be the first to tell you, like, there are a lot of things that are still a work in progress. Her running, a lot of her high skill stuff. But I think she's right where she's supposed to be. And I think you'll see it semifinals, depending on what the programming is, right? She's probably going to have a couple home runs, and there's probably going to be a couple workouts that we need to manage. But what I love about Kyra is she's always got a smile on her face, and she has a phenomenal attitude, and she wants to get better, and so, I really think over the next few years that she's going to make some serious headway, because she has a lot of natural ability, which is great. And like I said, there are those things. She's got some home runs that you can't teach, when you can front squat 300 pounds, it's pretty special. So yeah, it's been exciting, with those two, pretty young. And then obviously, we've got a savvy vet like Allie, who I just love having around. Yeah, I love having Allie around because, Allie is one of those athletes who she gets the most out of herself, and she's really good at being methodical. And she's just I tell her all the time, she's just really good. Like, she's just really good at CrossFit. Like, if you look at her career, she's just really good, and has she just been, just been a little bit, just a little bit away from making the games? Yes. But that doesn't take away from the fact that if you look at her consistently over the last 7-8 years, she's been incredibly consistent in the sport. And so we're just trying to get that extra, 1 to 2% on every workout for her. And one of the big things that we're focusing on is just trying to maximize essentially, like, her point value or her potential on every single workout. So it's like, where you used to finish in a workout if it was 12th, well, now, like, how do we manage this workout? How do we execute to finish 9th? If before you were 18th in a workout, how do we execute to finish 13th? If you were 7th, how do we execute to finish 3rd? And it's just making grabbing those extra 6 to 7, points on every single workout, where now you're maximizing your point value. And now instead of finishing 9th, you slide up to 5th, or instead of finishing 7th, you slide up to 4th. So that's where we're at, but she's another one who, she does all the right things. She's a model of consistency inside and outside the gym, and really a great role model for any young athletes. And I feel like Allie, when she wants to be, will be an absolutely amazing coach. I think she's just built for it. She's incredibly intelligent, super methodical. I think she brings a lot of experience to the table. She's someone, obviously, that I have my eye on for the future, to help me.
The way you describe her, it's like, because I'm a football fan, it's like that good locker room guy, right?
Amazing. Yeah, no, for sure. And also, but like somebody who's really, she really is anxious to continue to improve, though. That's what's great, and we'll talk often about, she'll do a workout, and then it's like, hey, Just, what do you see? And we'll talk about, oh, we could have shaved off a little time here, or we could have done this here, or that was perfect, So I love the fact that, she's been in this for a while, but she's still, it's just still trying to get better every single day, which I love. It's tenacity. I love to see it.
Yeah, I think my wish for this season is to see her punch that ticket.
I know.
After all these
great.
years.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Reagan Huckabee of last year.
Yeah, I would love to see it. And she's working her ass off, and I'm excited. It's kind of cool. It's like she's my only athlete at Atlas games. So I'm excited to be there with her and to be able to really, focus my attention and try to help her, like I said, just maximize her potential and grab as many points as we can. So it'll be fun.
So I want to shift gears a little bit. Last time we talked, you were looking to get a space. You almost had a space. The space fell through.
Yeah.
So where are we with that? I know you're at Camp Rhino now.
Yeah. So, I have like mixed feelings about it, because there was a space that we signed a lease on. It was kind of like the dream space in as far as like having a member gym and having an Underdogs gym, right? Like there were two separate. It was a 14,000 square foot facility, 7,000 on each side that we could separate, kind of down the middle with like a barn door or something, so we could open it all up when we want to and kind of close it when we wanted to separate the sides. And it fell through, and it was a gut punch for sure when it happened. And we were at Culmination at the time, and listen, CrossFit Culmination was amazing for us for a long time, but we just outgrew it. When we have on any given day, 12 to 15 athletes, we now have like 4 or 5 teams, TEENS, not teams, but teams. Next year, hopefully TEAMS also. So we have a bunch of athletes, and we needed a place that was big enough and had enough equipment to be able to house us. So yeah, we went out to Camp Rhino, and man, it's been phenomenal. And it's kind of almost changed my thought process a little bit, because it has made an incredible home for us. It has everything that we need. It's a big enough facility for us to be able to house in-house, without question, up to 20 athletes. And then if we want to run camps, we could easily run a camp of 50 to 60 athletes on a weekend, without a question, which I think eventually is our goal, right? Is to run weekend camps for sure. Especially for, obviously giving first dibs to, all of our Underdogs athletes around the world that follow the template and doing our individual programming, but then opening it up to the public. And we've got incredible coaches here. I'll probably bring in another, couple amazing coaches and just do, the weekend camp thing, which I think would be incredibly valuable to a lot of people. So I don't know. Whether we're looking to essentially have our own place, like, I would say right now we're very happy at Camp Rhino as our headquarters, and I think we'll be there for a little while, and for an extended period of time. They seem to really like having us there. We're very appreciative of them, and it's a good setup for us.
Yeah, when I was there for West Coast Classic, we dropped into Culmination, and I was really surprised how small it was.
Yeah, it's a great gym. When you get that many athletes in there, it's hard. You can't run heats, with 10 athletes. You're running heats of 3, and people
Right.
getting in the way, and you're having to adjust things. So we just outgrew it, and I think we're in a great spot right now. So although, you look at quarterfinals and the way they do those floor plans, you can't really have more than 2 or 3 people going at a time anyway. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah. So, that's a whole different subject.
Well, the last thing I want to talk about is give you an opportunity to talk about Underdogs, where people can sign up, all the different tracks you have available. Because you have everything. You have adaptive, you have team, you have
Everything.
teen, you have masters, you have an RX program.
Yeah.
You have a competitors program. And I'm sure I'm missing 18 others.
Individualized programming. Yeah, we have everything, and we're going to come out with more, as the season progresses. We're really trying to, listen, we're trying to do our best to cater to the community. We're trying to offer, quality programming at a reasonable cost, and obviously with as good a coaching as can be offered in the space. So yeah, underdogsathletics.com, Underdogs Athletics on Instagram, all those places they can see. And then obviously, kind of keep your eyes open for, we're definitely going to be planning some athlete camps before the year is over, probably after the season, I would think. And then obviously if people come to Vegas, look up Camp Rhino, and it's a great gym. And if you want to come do ninja stuff, they got Ninja Warrior stuff there too. It's really fun.
Just know that you're going to get your ass kicked by IV Cotler.
That's definitely true. Yes.
Well, Justin, as always, I could do this for another 2 hours.
Me too.
Because I didn't even get to talk to you about the season, what's gone on, the craziness, all of that stuff. But I'm going to let you go because we're going to talk to Ricky in about 10 minutes, and at least you can go pee and do all the stuff you need to do.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, Justin,
Thanks,
we'll see you shortly.
All right, brother.
Bye.